Let me tell you something about life is not promised, and it sure ain't endless. We all know it, yet so many of us walk through life like we've got all the time in the world. Let me remind you, life is short, and you've got to make every moment count. Every morning is a fresh opportunity. It's a reset button, a chance to define your day before it defines you. Too often we let life just happen to us. We get caught up in routines, wake up, go through the motions, and fall asleep. But let me tell you, waking up without a purpose is like driving a car with no destination. You're moving, but you're not going anywhere meaningful. The purpose is your engine. It gets you up when you're tired, keeps you focused when distractions come, and pushes you when nothing else will. To wake up with purpose, you've got to know what you're striving for. Maybe it's a big dream like building a business or starting a family. Or maybe it's as simple as improving yourself every single day. Whatever it is, make it clear in your mind before your feet hit the floor in the morning. Don't just wake up and hope the day will be good. Wake up and decide it will be. Think about how short life is. Every day you let pass without intention is a day you'll never get back. Time doesn't wait for anyone, and it doesn't care about excuses. You can't save up days like they're money in a bank. What you can do is make each one count by waking up with a clear purpose. And listen, purpose doesn't have to mean pressure. Don't overcomplicate it. Some days your purpose might be to chase your biggest dreams. On other days it might be to rest, recharge, or spend time with the people you love. The purpose is about living intentionally, not perfectly. The most important part, follow through. It's not enough to think about your purpose, you have to act on it. Write it down, say it out loud, and remind yourself of it every chance you get. Purpose doesn't stick unless you work to keep it alive. When you wake up with purpose, the world feels different. You'll start seeing opportunities where you once saw problems. You'll feel energy where you once felt drained. Purpose doesn't just change your day, it changes your entire life. Time is the one thing you can never get back. You can lose money and make it again. You can lose relationships and rebuild. But once a moment is gone, it's gone forever. That's why it's so important to stop wasting time on things that don't add value to your life. If something or someone doesn't serve your peace, your growth, or your happiness, it's time to let it go. Wasting time, make sure you're giving enough to each one so your life feels whole and fulfilling. Perfection is one of the biggest lies we tell ourselves. We think if I could just get everything right, I'd be happy. But let me tell you something, perfection is a trap, and it will keep you stuck forever. You'll never be perfect because life isn't perfect. It's messy, unpredictable, and full of surprises. That's what makes it beautiful. When you chase perfection, you're setting yourself up for disappointment. You'll always feel like you're falling short, no matter how much progress you make. That kind of pressure can rob you of your joy and stop you from appreciating how far you've already come. Instead of aiming for perfection, aim for progress. Growth is what matters, not flawless execution. Think about it, some of the most successful people in history didn't wait for the perfect time, the perfect opportunity, or the perfect conditions. They took imperfect action and figured it out as they went. Progress beats perfection every time because it moves you forward. Perfection keeps you stuck in your head, waiting for a day that will never come. Perfectionism can also stop you from starting. How many dreams have you put on hold because you didn't feel ready or good enough? You don't need to have it all figured out before you take the first step. The truth is, nobody has it all figured out. The only difference between those who succeed and those who don't is the willingness to try. When you let go of perfection, you free yourself to enjoy the process. Life isn't about getting everything right, it's about learning, growing, and becoming better every day. Embrace the mistakes, the detours, and the lessons are all part of your journey. And here's the best part. When you stop chasing perfection, you start noticing the beauty in imperfection. The quirks, the flaws, the little surprises, they're what make life real and worth living. Stop chasing an impossible standard and start living your life fully right where you are. The greatest risk in life isn't failing. It's never trying. Too many people play it safe, staying in their comfort zones and convincing themselves it's the best they can do. But let me ask you this. Are you living if you're not willing to take a chance on yourself? Life is short, and the opportunities you pass up today might not come around tomorrow. Taking risks doesn't mean being reckless. It means being courageous. It means looking fear in the eye and saying, you don't control me. Fear is a lie, and it will tell you that you're not ready, not good enough, or not capable. But deep down, you know that's not true. You've got everything you need to succeed, you just have to believe in yourself enough to try. Think about the regrets you'll have if you don't take that leap. What if you never start the business you've dreamed of? What if you never tell someone how much they mean to you? What if you never push yourself to grow because you're scared of failing? Regret is heavier than failure because at least failure teaches you something. When you take risks, you learn what you're made of. You discover strengths you didn't know you had and build resilience you'll carry for life. Even if things don't work out the way you hoped, you'll come out stronger, wiser, and more prepared for the next challenge. Every risk you take is a step toward becoming the person you're meant to be. And here's the thing, betting on yourself isn't selfish, it's necessary. When you succeed, you inspire others to do the same. Your courage becomes a ripple effect, encouraging those around you to step out of their comfort zones and chase their dreams too. The only person you need permission from is yourself. Don't wait for the stars to align or for someone else to validate your worth. The life you want is on the other side of fear, and the only way to get there is to take the risk. Life is not always about the big milestones. Sure, we celebrate graduations, promotions, and birthdays, but what about the beauty of a simple sunrise? Or the sound of your loved ones laughing? These are the moments of the threads that weave the fabric of our lives, but too often we look them while chasing the next big thing. Life isn't just about the destination, it's about the journey and all the small, beautiful details along the way. Think about the last time you paused to appreciate a quiet moment, a walk in the park, and a hot cup of coffee, or even a heartfelt conversation. Those moments don't seem like much at the time, but they're the ones that bring real joy to your heart. If you wait for life's big events to feel happy, you'll spend most of your time waiting. Gratitude for the little things helps you find joy every single day. When you focus on the little things, you also become more present. Instead of rushing through your day, you start to notice around you the smile of a stranger, the smell of fresh rain, or the feeling of the sun on your skin. These are reminders that life is happening right now. Don't miss it by being too focused on what's next. Appreciating the little things also puts your problems into perspective. When life feels overwhelming, taking a moment to notice the beauty around you can remind you that not everything is bad. Gratitude shifts your mindset from scarcity to abundance, from stress to peace. It's a powerful tool for staying grounded and positive. The truth is, the little things are often what we remember most. Years from now, you may not recall what you want or how much you earned, but you'll remember the time you spent with your loved ones, the adventures you took, and the small acts of kindness you experienced. Those are the treasures of life. So don't wait for something extraordinary to appreciate life. Start with what's in front of you right now. Look around, take it in, and remind yourself that even the smallest moments can hold the biggest meaning. One of the hardest lessons to learn is how to say no. We're taught to please everyone, to be agreeable, and to avoid conflict. But let me tell you something. Every time you say yes to something that doesn't align with your goals or values, you're saying no to yourself. Your time and energy are limited, and if you don't protect them, no one else will. Saying no doesn't mean you're selfish. It means you know your worth. It means you understand that you can't pour from an empty cup. If you're constantly giving to others without taking care of yourself, you'll burn out. And when that happens, you won't be any good to anyone, including yourself. Sometimes we say yes because we're afraid of disappointing others. But let me ask you this, why is their happiness more important than yours? You can't make everyone happy, no matter how hard you try. The sooner you accept that, the freer you'll feel. Your responsibility is to honor your own needs and priorities, not to live up to everyone else's expectations. Learning to say no is about setting boundaries. Boundaries aren't walls to keep people out. They're guidelines to show people how to respect you. When you set boundaries, you're telling the world, I value myself enough to protect my time and energy. And the people who truly care about you will respect that. At first, saying no might feel uncomfortable. You might feel guilty, or you might worry about how others will react. But the more you practice, the easier it gets. And the more you say no to the things that don't serve you, the more space you create for the things that do. Your life is yours to live. Don't give away your power by saying yes to things that drain you. Say no without guilt and yes to yourself. Forgiveness is one of the hardest things you'll ever do, but it's also one of the most freeing. When someone hurts you, the natural reaction is to hold on to anger and resentment. But let me tell you something, holding on to that pain doesn't punish them, it punishes you. It's like carrying a heavy backpack everywhere you go. The longer you hold on to it, the heavier it gets. Forgiveness isn't about excusing what they did or pretending it didn't happen. It's about freeing yourself from the grip of bitterness. It's about saying, I won't let what you did to me define the rest of my life. Forgiveness is for you, not them. Letting go doesn't mean you have to reconcile. You can forgive someone and still choose to keep them at a distance. Forgiveness is about finding peace in your own heart, not about giving them a free pass to hurt you again. It's about cutting the cord that ties you to the pain they caused. When you hold on to anger, it eats away at your joy. It clouds your judgment, steals your happiness, and keeps you stuck in the past. Forgiveness allows you to move forward. It's not easy, but it's worth it. The weight you'll feel lifting off your shoulders is like nothing else. And don't forget to forgive yourself. We all make mistakes and we all have regrets. Holding on to guilt doesn't change the past, it only holds you back from a better future. Learn from your mistakes, make amends if you can, and let it go. Forgiveness is a gift you give yourself. It's a way to reclaim your power, your peace, and your freedom. Life's too short to carry anger and resentment. Let it go and move forward. Change is one of the few guarantees in life, yet so many of us fight it. We get comfortable where we are, even when it's not where we want to be. We cling to the familiar because it feels safe, but let me tell you something, nothing grows in a comfort zone. If you want a life that's meaningful and fulfilling, you've got to embrace change, no matter how uncomfortable it feels at first. The thing about change is that it rarely happens on your terms. Sometimes it's sudden, a job loss, a breakup, or a move you didn't plan. Other times it's gradual, like a friendship fading or your interest shifting. Either way, resisting change only makes it harder. When you fight what's happening, you create stress and prolong your pain. But when you embrace it, you open yourself up to growth, and you can't stop the world from turning, but you can control how you respond to it. Your attitude, your actions, and your perspective are all within your power. Use them to turn challenges into stepping stones. Change also brings possibilities you never imagined. It might feel like a door's closing, but often that's just so another one can open. The job you lose might lead to a career you love. The relationship that ends might make room for one that's healthier and more fulfilling. Life has a way of working out when you trust the process and keep moving forward. So don't fear change, embrace it. Lean into the discomfort, trust your ability to adapt, and remember that every change is a chance to grow. Too often, we waste time trying to impress people who don't even matter in the grand scheme of things. We buy things we don't need, say things we don't mean, and live lives that don't feel authentic, all to gain approval from others. But here's the truth: the opinions of others won't matter when your time is up. What will matter is the impact you made in the lives you touched. Living to impress others is exhausting. It's like running a race where the finish line keeps moving. No matter how much you do, someone will always have something to say. And let's be real, most people are too busy worrying about their own lives to even notice somebody. Stop wasting energy on what they think and start focusing on what you think. When you focus on impact, your priorities shift. You stop asking, how can I look good? And start asking, how can I do good? Whether it's through your work, your relationships, or your everyday interactions, making a difference is what gives life meaning. Small acts of kindness, words of encouragement, or simply showing up for someone can leave a legacy that lasts far longer than any material achievement. Focusing on impact also means living authentically. People don't connect with perfection, they connect with honesty and vulnerability. When you stop pretending to be something you're not, you free yourself to build real relationships and do work that truly matters. Authenticity is magnetic. It draws the right people and opportunities into your life. The impact you make doesn't have to be world-changing. You don't need to cure simply taking a moment to reflect. Find a way to honor your achievements. Gratitude is the foundation of a meaningful life. It's the lens that turns what you have into enough, what you experience into joy, and what you endure into lessons. Too often, we focus on what we lack instead of appreciating what we already have. But when you live with gratitude, you shift your focus from scarcity to abundance, from complaints to blessings. Gratitude doesn't mean ignoring life's challenges. It means acknowledging them while still finding reasons to be thankful. Even on your hardest days, there's always something to be grateful for: the roof over your head, the food on your table, the people who love you. Gratitude doesn't erase pain, but it gives you the strength to endure. Practicing gratitude can be as simple as starting your day with a thankful heart. Before you get out of bed, think of 3 things you're grateful for. They don't have to be big, even the smallest blessings count. By starting your day with gratitude, you set a positive tone that carries through everything you do. Gratitude also boosts overall happiness. It's a simple but powerful habit that can transform your outlook on life. Life is short. That's not a warning, it's a truth, and it's a gift. Every day, every moment, every breath is a chance to create something beautiful, meaningful, and lasting. Don't let the days slip by on autopilot, waiting for some perfect moment that may never come. The time to live fully is now. The time to embrace change, celebrate your wins, cherish the little things, and leave an impact is today. You've heard it said before, we can't control how much time we have, but we can control how we use it. That's the essence of life. It's not about the length of our days, but the depth of how we live them. Make every decision, every conversation, every action count. Don't settle for mediocrity when greatness is within your reach. Your story is still being written, but you hold the pen. Will you spend your time chasing validation, clinging to fear, or holding on to grudges? Or will you use your time to grow, to love, to forgive, and to pursue the purpose you were put here for? The choice is yours, and it's a powerful one. Let this be your reminder: life isn't waiting for you, it's happening now. The people who mean the most to you, the dreams you've been putting off, the changes you've been resisting, they're all waiting for you to step up and claim the life you deserve. So go ahead and make bold moves, take risks, love fiercely, and live unapologetically. Let the fear of wasting time be greater than the fear of failing. You've got this one life, and you were meant to live it fully, freely, and with a heart that's all in. Life is short. Make every moment count.